Hi everybody, hope you're well. So this video is requested by Cedere, and this I'm going to be showing you how to skill a blup. Now I'm not skilling it, I'm not making a skiller. What I'm trying to do is get the most skills out of a blup that I can possibly get. So we've got one here. Now there are some things I'm going to do. I am on the test version, so I'm going to use a couple of items to make this a little bit faster, so it's a little bit quicker for you guys and it's not going to take as long to watch. So first off, if I was going to try and get as many skills out of a blup as possible, I would try and get myself a plus 60 EC. Now I've got one here. I mean, obviously try and get the best that you can get, and you want that plus 60 if possible. You want that 60 lesson mission because that's going to give you the most skills whenever you do lessons. And obviously if you're blupping a horse and you want to maximize your skills, you're going to probably want to do lessons. Next thing is foal games. Now I do have a video on how to do foal games. Now what we want to make sure is if we want to get the most possible skills out of this, we want to do foal games. So foal games itself doesn't contribute towards the blup, so everything we're doing right now is to try and maximize the skills on the blup itself. So we're not skilling. I'm just going to clarify that. Okay, there's certain things that we will miss out that you would do in proper skilling, so confirm that now. And we're nearly finished doing foal games, so I'm just going to do a little bit more, try and get the most as we possibly can. We can get 60 skills from foal games, so that's what we want to get. So there we go, there's I think that was the last of it all. So if we click on this, you can see that we're not going to gain any more skills, and if we have a look here and view the details, we can see that we got all 60 from games. So foal games was the first part. That's what you wanted to do. So the next bit, obviously, you have to be aware of is you're blupping. You're trying to blup a horse. So now I'm going to put a next pack on this because I'm on the test server. I wouldn't do this normally. The only reason I'm doing it is because I want to make this a little bit quicker for you guys, so it's not as tedious. So this will speed up what I'm doing, but I wouldn't, if you were just blupping, I would do it the normal way without it, unless you do use a mix for blupping. So the first thing I'm going to do is have a look and see what genetics I need to work with. So obviously if you're blupping, unless you're somebody that tends to blup all your horses in a way that you bold all 6 skills, if you're just looking to do 3 skills, then you're just, you know, going to focus on the top 3 genetic skills. So the top 3 genetic skills of this horse are trot, dressage and jumping. So those are the 3 that I want to focus on with this horse. So let's have a look. So if we do forest, that'll give us dressage, it'll give us jumping, but it won't give us trot. So we're going to have to do forest and we're going to have to do mountain because trot is in mountain. So we'll start off with the mountain rides. So you can blup the way that you usually blup, but the things that you're going to have to take notice of started around 2 years old. So if we can get this horse to 2, I'll start talking about that. So all we want to be doing is just making sure we're getting the most out of it, and obviously take care of the horse and make sure the health doesn't go below 100, because then, you know, it's just like skilling in that sense. You would lose skills from the health penalty, so you want to be aware of that. So now the horse is 2 years old, and this is important because if you're looking to get the most skills in this as possible, you want to lesson it every day. So we've just done our first lesson, so now we'll start back with the rides again. And we want to do that every day. Now what you could do if you wanted, and I'm leaving this totally up to you guys, I'm not going to do it in this video. Okay, we've just finished the mountain ride. You could add a water of youth because it allows you to age your horse by 1 month instead of 2 months. So you could potentially do twice as many lessons. If you want to do that, that's totally up to you. That is something you would definitely use if you were skilling, but because this is a blup, you don't have to do it. It's just something that an added extra option on there. I'm not going to use it in this video, but you could if you wanted to. So we've finished mountain. So now we're going to switch over to trot. So I'm going to keep doing the missions, fast lessons each time to make sure that we're getting those. So I think the other thing to bear in mind as well is if you want to maximize the amount of skills you get, maybe for your ranking, one of the things that I tend to do is what I try and make sure is that I get all the skills that I need to actually get the blup value to where I want it to be. But then if I have a little bit of spare time before the horse is 10, or even after it, I still train up. So for example, if I got a mare to, let's say, 10 years old, and she got her wins, she was bolded in the 3 skills she needed to be, and I've been doing lessons and so forth with her as well. What I would want to then do, as I was breeding foals out of her for the next generation of Blups, I would be training up her skills that I hadn't bolded yet, because it's a good way to kind of finish it off. So I'll sort of show you what I mean by this later on. So we're almost finished forest rides. We're still doing lessons every day because we need to if we want to maximize the amount of skills on this blup. So it's just something that's there as an option. I mean, not everything I do in this you have to do, but it's just taking on those principles. The other thing I will mention is pieces of cloud. You don't need to cloud, like, to be honest, I think if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'll put a water youth on it, I'll cloud it, I'll mix it, you might as well just go do a skiller. So I think if you're just going to, like, you know, try and get as many skills as possible on a blup, then just do the things that don't cost you any extra. But do be aware that it is going to take more time to do this, doing it this way. So if you are in a team where, let's say, you need to be finished a blup in a couple of minutes, let's say 15 minutes. If you start this, it's going to take longer than 15 minutes. Okay, so we finished forest, we finished mountain. So now we need to train jumping and trot and dressage. So I'm just going to train a little bit of each so that I don't train the wrong ones, because I've done that before. So we'll keep doing missions and I'll start training in these. So one video that might interest some of you who want to maximize the skills on your blups is the one I did about bolding in all 6 skills. It's a video which basically shows you how to bold any horse in all 6 skills. I'm pretty sure it's up to date. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure it's shows you how to do it in the quickest possible manner without items, as far as I remember. So we're almost finished jumping. So I'll keep doing trot and I'll pause it there for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep training trot, I'm going to keep training dressage, and I'm going to make sure I do lessons every single day. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've almost finished dressage. I have finished the other one. So there's dressage, trot and jumping, trained. We finished the rides for this horse. So the next thing is the competitions to order to bold our blup. So I'm going to go with Western riding. So I'm going to click on that and choose some tack. Now you can go into classical if you want. There is a reason I'm going into Western, which I'll explain in a moment. So obviously if you're blupping, you want to be doing the competitions that suit the horse in terms of probably what it's more likely to win and obviously its skill set. Now for this, that would actually be trail with this horse because it's dressage, trot and jumping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click enable on this and I'm going to start doing those competitions. I am going to keep doing my lessons as well because that's a big part of this. So we'll keep doing that. I'm just going to make sure I don't do too much with her because I don't want, or is it him? No, it is a her. But just to make sure I don't put her under 20% energy because we don't want her to lose health. So we'll just keep doing that and we'll keep doing trail. And I'm doing trail because that suits her skill set and because it's going to give us the 3 skills we exactly need. Now, not all horses work like that. Some horses you have to do 2 types of competition, some 3. So what I've done is I've managed to bold dressage, trot and jumping. So if I just age her once, just to show you, and we hover over in here, you can see that she's 5 out of 10. So that's 5 years old out of 10 years old. Her training is 3 out of 3. So she's bolded in the 3 genetic, her best 3 top genetic skills, but she still needs wins. So I'm not going to focus on the wins in this video because that's not affecting the skills and we're all about maximizing the skills on this. So now what I would do, depending on when you finish it, now I have finished it a little bit early, as I mentioned earlier, because I was using the Cronus timer because we're on the test version. I have more time to do other things, but even if, let's say we were starting to breed foals out of this mare, what I would do, say for example she was 10 now and I covered her, I would still keep training up these other skills. So we'll pretend that she's in foal, and obviously there's some times whenever she's in foal you won't be able to train her, but we'll just ignore that for now, okay? So we'll age her up to 10, and what we'll do is we'll train some of these other skills. Now they are going up faster because of the Chronos timer on her, but you don't have to have the Chronos timer on her. I like Blup a lot of horses present that I eventually have all 6 skills trained with, because I want to make sure that they're maximized. As far as I'm concerned, it means that they're probably more saleable in future. It means they're better for my ranking and so forth. So that is basically what we're doing, and that video about bolding all 6 skills in any horse is a video I would highly advise if that's what you want to do. So we'll keep going right now. So sometimes you can actually get all 6 skills pretty much there by 10. Sometimes it's a little bit harder, but if you can take advantage of using an EC that is the right type of EC, it makes it easier to do rides. It saves a bit of time. So and if you're one of those people that can actually cancel boarding in your own EC, and you have a forest or mountain EC that suits what you're doing, that's another thing to take advantage of. So we've managed to train her and everything so far, except stamina, and we need to bold her other ones as well. So keep doing the lessons. I hope I didn't miss any. If I missed any, I need a slap for that, right? Hopefully I didn't miss any, right? Okay. I have to remember this because forgetting lessons on skillers is probably one of the most common things I do. So I just need to make sure that we're doing it now, even though this isn't really a skiller. But still, right, we're nearly there. And the best part, I will show you at the end of this, when we finish training stamina. So we've got stamina almost done. Maybe we can finish it now. Let's see. I think we can. Yes, we can. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll click confirm and we'll do another lesson. So what we can see right now is her stamina and speed and gallop are all trained. We've got all the rides as well. If we want to have a look at view the details, we can see that they're all done. The only places that they're not done is in competitions. You can see there's no gallop done in competitions for speed or stamina. So what we want to do now is we want to gain those other skills while we would be aging her, because she's not 10 yet. Now obviously that's because she's got the Chronos timer on her, but even if you were breeding foals and just continuing to age her up, you'd be doing this, you know, training her up a little bit in between foaling the foals, so making use of the time. It's kind of about maximising her use, so it's a little bit more tricky for colts. If you blup a lot of colts, it's a bit harder because obviously you maybe aren't aging the colt as far up. I mean, if you're aging a mare and you have to get 4 foals, then you're going to be aging her, you know, into maybe around 15 or something like that, maybe 16. And you're going to have more time to do extra training, whereas with stallion, if you get the stallion to 10, you might not be going any further than that, so you might not finish it. So thankfully, and if you watch the how to bold in all 6 skills video, you'll see barrel is the perfect competition right now because we've done trail with her. See, trail gives us dress, trot and jumping, and barrel gives us stamina, speed and gallop. So all we need to do right now is actually do barrel with her. In order to do this. Now, I do have a video about what competitions to do depending on different horses, and you can have a look at that if you need to. But we just want to keep maximising the skills on this horse, so we'll keep doing the lessons and we'll keep doing barrel. And if you really wanted, you could age your horse all the way up to 25 and keep doing lessons to maximise on a blup, but I only do that if they've got an ML. So she's just bolded. So if we age her once more, now I'm just going to demonstrate this because some people sometimes get confused. If I go to do rides with her, she doesn't gain any more skills. It doesn't matter if I do beach. As I've said, beach doesn't add skills, it moves skills. Then you've got mountain. Mountain doesn't add any. If I go to do any of these competitions, none of them are going to add any. As you can see, it just gives me a duration because there's no skills to be added. But if I click lesson, it does add more skills, and you can see it here and you can see it here. So that is how to try and get the most out of your blup if you want to maximize the skills. So some of the things to bear in mind is do the foal games, make sure to decide whether or not you want to use a water view. Personally, I don't advise it with blups because, as I've said, the benefit is that you can do twice as many lessons, but the downside is if you're blupping with aging points, twice as many agent points it's going to take to blup. And also, just another thing to bear in mind, it's going to take longer. It does take longer to blup with a Y. So it's down to resources and time, and you need to make that decision for yourself. So that is how I would maximize on a blup without using extra items. Now, as I said, I only use these to try and speed up the process for you, but everything else, you know, is just as it is. But anyway, guys, thank you to Cedere for requesting the video. I hope you had a lovely day.